Good morning and happy Harness Your Hump Day. It is Wednesday, July 31st. I cannot believe July is gone. Just like that. Just like that. Gone. Crazy. I know I've talked to quite a few parents that are excited about their kids going back to school and some kids that aren't so excited about going back to school. So, last day of the month, we go into August. Lots of things going on next month, lots of events that we'll get to in just a little bit. So yes, today's topic is, are you all in with your digital marketing? I've been debating doing this episode for a while, and I think it's about time we have this heart-to-heart, this discussion. Okay, so before we get too far, yes, I am wearing my Chicago Cubs snapback hat. I love it because there's some of my friends, and then there's also some people in the community. I love it. Fire Chief Rains always says every time he sees me in this hat, he wants to just fix it. He wants to bill it. So I love wearing this hat and showing him sometimes. So anyways, I'm supporting my Cubs. This is a huge series right now, Cubs versus Cardinals. It's big. St. Louis, Chicago Cubs. Nothing bigger than that. And I will have some announcements after we talk about, are you all in with your digital marketing? So I hope everybody's having a great day. It is a Wednesday. It's Harness Your Hump Day. Let's go out there and make it right. Let's jump in. Okay. There's always a lot of debate on what medium is the best to do, right? You've got options. In the very early days, newspaper. Everything was distributed, everything was marketed by newspaper. Then comes in Marconi, and then he develops the wonderful radio, right? Then we have radio. Well, then we get pictures. Then we get TV. And now, the world is dominated by this little device. For the longest period, we kept wanting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I guess technically we are now, because the phones were not quite this big when they first started out. But if you want to have a serious discussion about your business, your organization, and branding and marketing, advertising for your business, then you want to listen to this part forward. Okay, so we've got these mediums. Each one either promises, which I never promise any of our clients, that digital marketing is the all-encompassing answer. In a perfect world, you would, if there was unlimited amounts of budget for some big businesses, that's definitely a possibility. You would use all mediums, right? Because there are people in each one. The trick for small businesses and nonprofit organizations, even medium-sized businesses, is finding out where should they put their money? Where should it go? Do they stick with the traditional mediums that they've had year after year after year, decades after decade, right? Or do they start to look and establish where the market is going and where their people are going to be ahead of it? I am a proactive entrepreneur business owner. I want to establish now, but I also want to be well ahead of the curve in the future. So if we aren't proactive in our business practices and our marketing, there is a chance you, one, could spend more money in the long run, and two, you will be behind the curve, right? Your competition's already 2 to 3 steps ahead. Well, you need to be 2 to 3 steps ahead of them. We're not trying to keep up with the Joneses, people. What we're trying to do is make sure that you are spending your money, your hard-earned money. Guys, I'm an entrepreneur too. I want to make sure when I spend my money, it's the best value and I get something out of it. Whether it's brand recognition, whether I get increased in services, it doesn't matter. But I have goals and I attack that. The problem is that my medium, digital marketing, fairly new in the concept of social media and this little device right here. It's hard when you come into a market or a medium that has been dominated for years after years, but guess what? Every last one of them had to deal with it, except for maybe newspaper when it first came out. Radio came out, then TV came out. So all this technology, all these different mediums, they play a huge part in your business decisions. So let's talk about it. Newspaper. One of the biggest things that you need to remember about newspaper versus digital marketing is that newspaper is really about the distribution of it. Now we're talking about national, we're talking about regional, and we're also talking about small-time community newspapers. Now, I am a huge fan of the small-town community newspaper. Why? Because you can't get a lot of the information and news locally anywhere else, because everything is syndicated or someone wants to basically spend all their budgets on a bigger market because they have a bigger distribution, which I talk about that. Distribution is king. However, small-time newspapers, your small community newspapers, this might be a horrible comparison and I apologize, but it's really like your NPR, your nonprofits, your public radio. I think part of it is a community service to support them. I don't do nearly a good enough job on that. I try to support them digitally because they are on social media, but I could absolutely do a better job of that. But at the end of the day, when a business is going for newspaper, it's probably because of a relationship they've had a long time, and it's not typically about branding, and it's not typically about increasing your bottom line or your margins or selling widgets or services. It's not, because a lot of times it doesn't impact that. That market, the newspaper market, is dwindling. It's getting smaller and smaller. However, they are moving into communities like nursing homes and communities. There is a market for newspapers, but remember who is using it and who's going there. Again, not attacking, I'm just saying you need to be well informed and well armed. You're not going to market to millennials in a newspaper. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right, let's jump into the next one that came out that kind of dominated newspaper a little bit, was radio. Radio comes out. Radio is great because now we're using a couple of more senses here. We're using hearing, and we hear things over and over. And when we hear them over and over, it's beat into our head. So this is where branding really kicked in. This is when it's like we got to send that message out there continually so people can hear it. And this is when you had early on really cool jingles. Oh my gosh. I don't know how good I would have been, but I have some friends that I think would have dominated way, way back because they're not that old. But some of the jingles that came out on radio, I bet some of our grandparents, some of the older people still remember sitting around that radio and listening to some of those jingles. They were embedded in our minds, in our hearts. And when we went to the store, we went out, we either sang them, we said them, or we actually bought their product or service. So radio has changed and adapted. Why? Again, this online, internet. A lot of people are now streaming through Pandora, through Spotify, through their own channels. I mean, the market just keeps growing. So it's really hard when you have a market because what you really want is a captive audience. Even when I drive, I want you to do this. Next time you drive safely, it's illegal in a lot of states. Just remember this. How many people are driving or how many people are in the car and are still on their phone? It's amazing. It blows my mind that these people are still, and they're being marketed to. There's this traveling. We've not even seen the tip of the iceberg yet of marketing and digital marketing of this device in your car while you travel. That would be a whole nother episode. Radio. The reason you do radio is because of a community service as well. I 100% believe in that. Or you want to be on a station where the music, that audience that's listening to that really connects with that. The problem, millennials, even some older people my age, we're not listening to radio that often. And to be perfectly honest, I listen to the radio mostly for the DJs. Yeah, that's what we used to do back in the day, people. That's what it was all about. It was, the music, but it was the DJs. My stepdad was a DJ in South Dakota for a country station and a couple of other oldies stations. But man, let me tell you, the followers he had, they supported him. Locally, I listen to my buddy Todd Bryant. He's on WQRL. I love that guy, and that's why I'm connected with him, and I listen to his show. Has nothing really to do with the music. I can listen to the music anywhere. I connect with him. So really, the market, the drive for radio, man, you got to go all in with those DJs. They're the marketing. They're the branding. They're the ones that are going to sell that show. They're the ones that people are going to listen to. So if it was me, and I'm just saying this is me, if it was me, all I want you to do is maybe create a relationship with the DJ. That's the person you want to go to. Otherwise, there's a lot of options, and it is going streaming. And again, it's really about creating a connection. Many of these people, businesses, owners, organizations, they buy because they support the person either selling it or the person running it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking at it from a complete business sense, you still want to sell, you still want to brand. You have to be smart with your decisions. All right. Radio, king for a while, man. Then visual comes in. What do we got? We got TV. TV comes in. Oh my gosh, now we have audio, visual. Oh my gosh. This was a game changer back in its day. Not only did we have the jingles, we had visuals with it. And I saw this great YouTube flashback of Flintstones back in the day when they used to sell cigarettes. It's crazy. Yeah, things have changed so much. But TV is probably one of the mediums that still can, I would say, compete with digital marketing and with social media. And why is that? We still love to watch our shows. Many of the audience still don't want to watch their TV shows on a little screen like this, right? We went big. We wanted the 54-inch TV. We wanted the TV. We record though. We DVR. We fast forward. And typically commercials sometimes get passed unless we really want to watch that show live. It's all about the live show. What TV shows do people want to watch live and not DVR? And God forbid for me saying this, but the one show that popped in my mind right now that people really want to watch live is like The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, right? So when you think about your TV ads and where you want them to go, you want them to go for live TV. Who is watching this show live? News, another great one. People typically don't DVR the news or the weather and fast forward to the good stuff. It's those hardcore shows, those group followings, those cult followings. That's where you want your TV ads at. A really great side note is if you tie your TV ads in with social, it's a win-win. Because a lot of times, if the show is that popular, they are on this device right here, and guess what? They're tweeting, they're posting comments, they're interacting. I love it. The best part about some of these mediums is that if you don't look at them separate and you combine your digital marketing strategy together, oh my God, you can be creative, fun, and you build off each other, you build an audience, and it's absolutely amazing. So when you're thinking about these mediums, yes, each individual one does have a demographic. Each individual one does serve a purpose. But you have to remember, what is the end goal? If it's branding, or you just want to support your salesperson, or you just want to support that business, that industry, that's great. That's fine. I appreciate that too. But at the end of the day, I want to deliver for you. That's why when we work with our clients, we focus on 3 goals. We put those goals down, and then we go back and we say, we got all 3. We got 1 out of 3. We got 2 out of 3. We didn't get any. Oh no. Well, that very rarely happens. I'm going to tell you that right now. We can adjust and adapt as we go through when we work with our clients. So no matter what medium you choose, newspaper, radio, TV, digital marketing, if you have a question and you think that you want to work with us at Harness Digital Marketing, reach out, just ask. I love creativeness. If you're an outside the box thinker, that's us. If you're an inside the box, probably not so much, right? Not us. If you want different, if you want someone that is willing to work with you, grow your business, be a part of it, then we're the people for you. All right. If you have any other questions about radio, TV, newspaper versus digital marketing, reach out to me. I will be happy to have that discussion with you. We can have a coffee over at Crown Brew in downtown Carterville. I would love that. I always need an excuse to have coffee or a craft lemonade. All right. So moving on, real quick, special announcement deals with the Cubs. I also sit on the board. I'm the second vice president. I'm not good enough to be any of the other ones. For the Southern Illinois Wellness. We combined the men's, the women's, and the teens expo into one in Southern Illinois, and we are having a huge impact on this region. So guess what we're doing? We need to raise money so that way we can have more programs and offer educational units for our region for in the health industry, basically to educate and bring some of the best. And I will talk about one of those in our events. But what we're doing, we were able to work with, oh God, this is going to kill me. We were able to work with the St. Louis Cardinals to get a block of tickets for September 28th, Saturday, 6:15 p.m., the next to the last game of the year, to sell and to raise money. Those tickets are $40. $40 a ticket. They're going to go huge after that. Why? Because we all know the Central Division, and in essence, kind of sucks. It's very close. Everybody is just losing and winning. From 1 minute, it's first place Cubs and Cards, then Brewers, then Cubs and Cards and Cards and Brewers. Oh my gosh, Lions, Tigers, and Bears. All right. Those tickets are available. We are going to be selling those. I'll provide a link and I'll reach out to you. We need to sell 300 tickets. If we sell those 300 tickets, we do have an option to get 200 more if we need it. I've already put a little post online, and I'm pretty sure these are going to sell pretty fast. It's the end of the season. It's a Saturday game. It could be a pennant race. These are going to be big. They're going for $40. You need to talk to me. Message me. We'll have a link. You can buy them online. I'll get those tickets to you ASAP. All right? So there's that. All right, let's jump into our events. All right, my buddy Kevin Hunsperger over at Stride Pro Wrestling. Saturday, August 3rd at 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. here in Carterville. There is a wrestling show extraordinaire. He is, without a doubt, I kind of hesitated last week. He is the undisputed, the best, the wonderful, the one and only in the tri-state area ring announcer. He's the best. He's sought after by, my gosh, everybody. Everybody except WWE. Die, kid. That's where my boy's going someday. I know it. I just know it. But if you want to know more, the link's down below. It's a great family environment. Heath Hatton, man, that guy has done an amazing job. Red over there, they work hard. They got a family. They put on a great show. Check it out. Something near and dear to my heart, National Night Out, Carterville Police Night. This is a national thing, but you get to meet the police and you get to see them in a different light. And recently, we saw ours in a new light by one of our local police officers / heroes. They're all heroes to me. Jumped into Crab Orchard when a vehicle drove into the lake and helped pull him out. And I believe, if I remember correctly, there was 2 other individuals and a state, maybe a couple of state police that jumped in and helped too. But we were, Officer Tyner was great. He jumped in and did that. But if you want to meet that hero and you want to meet all of our people that keep us safe, you need to come to the National Night Out Tuesday, August 6th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Carterville, Illinois, in Carterville at James Street Park. All right, jumping up ahead, I mentioned this, I hinted. Michelle Snyder, our executive director at the Southern Illinois Wellness. We are hosting a day with Teepa Snow. It's Dementia 360. It's at John A. Logan College in the Robert L. Mees Center. It's located in the Harrison Bruce Village. This conference is going to be one of the key points and the direction that we're going to try to go with Southern Illinois Wellness. And what I mean by that is we need to bring in and educate, but we need to do it in a fun way. We need to bring in outside leaders in the industry. We need you involved. Dementia is going to affect just about every person in our family and our friends in our life. How do we deal with that? What do we do? From a police officer, from a firefighter. This is community. That's why we call it 360. So if you want more information about that, we do have an afternoon session that would allow you to get education credits. You do have to pay for that. I think it's $20 or $25. Not bad, considering that I heard that some of these conferences cost anywhere from $200 to $300. So it's a deal. All it does is cover the processing costs. We don't make money on it. And it is powered by Illinicare Health. And we're very excited to partner with them. Last but not least, my buddy, Russ Williams. This is the 3rd year for the Live to Lead. It's Friday, October 25th at the Pavilion of the city of Marion. There's a link for tickets. There's still sponsorship. Listen, any area, any business is only successful as its leadership. We know that. Why don't we listen to it? We need to, right? I do. I'm going to tell you something, and this is a testament. I joined Russ's mastermind classes, and it could be a coincidence. I don't know. My business went much better, much smoother, increased market, increased sales, not because of networking, but because it helped me work with a bunch of other individuals that were smarter than me. Remember, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I went. Business has been great. We keep growing. It's been stable. I love it. And I owe Russ and my mastermind group in part for that success. Again, it's not like a networking or a lead generation. It's helping me become a better leader. And in the process, it's helping my business grow. I highly suggest it. You need to look at that. The link's down below. That's coming up. And let's build some more leaders. Let's get some more opportunities for people graduating in our region and moving to Southern Illinois. So this episode was sponsored by Sotellus. Remember, it is get the reviews you deserve. You can learn more at the link below. All right, everybody. I hope you harness your hump day to its maximum. Enjoy the day. And you know what? Go out there and make somebody smile. And I'm going to finish with this one. It's going to get me in trouble. Go Cubs.